Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Friends, let us all study, investigate, and practice the real words of the Buddha. Tonight, we have another special discourse. This is from the middle-length teachings of the Buddha, Majjhima Nikaya. The discourse number 125, Danta Bhumi Sutta, the grade of the tamed. Our topic tonight is taming the elephant. Taming the elephant. You must have heard that taming the bull, just like that. Taming the elephant. Buddha Sasana, or Dhamma Vinaya, means Dhamma and discipline. That is the dispensation of the Buddha. In this dispensation of the Buddha, there is a gradual training, gradual activity, and gradual progress. Once the Titan Paharada came to the Buddha and asked the difference. As he said, in the ocean, they live happily with delighted heart, seeing the different nature of the ocean. Whereas the Buddha said, in comparison to his words, Buddha said, Paharada, the great ocean slants, slopes, and inclines gradually, not dropping off abruptly. So too, in this Dhamma and discipline, this dispensation, penetration to final knowledge occurs by gradual training, gradual activity, and gradual practice. Another occasion, we talk about this last day, about the accountant Moggallana. As he came to the monastery and he said that he can understand, he can see gradual training, gradual activity, and gradual progress even in the staircase of the monastery, referring to his accountancy, and in many different things he said there is that sort of training. He asked whether there is such a training in this dispensation. The Buddha said, yes, there is. And we talked about this last time. Tonight, we have this particular discourse where the Buddha pointed out the Buddhist training what is the training? How a person is to be trained from the very beginning, from the state of lay life to the monastic, and finally, how one should attain full enlightenment with the Buddha's training. Let's understand this. This particular discourse was delivered by the Buddha when the Buddha was dwelling at Rajagaha in the bamboo grove, the squirrel sanctuary. On this occasion, once Venerable Achiravata, he was a novice Achiravata. He was living in a forest hut. Then the prince Jayasena one day visited him and asked, Master Agavesana, I have heard that a bhikkhu who abides here, diligent, ardent, and resolute, can achieve unification of mind. Unification of mind. That is what he had heard. That he wanted to know whether is it true. Then Venerable Achiravata said, that is so, Prince. That is so. A bhikkhu who abides here, diligent, ardent, and resolute, can achieve unification of mind. Then he said, it would be good if Master Agavesana would teach me the Dhamma as he has heard it and mastered it. Then Achiravata, the Venerable Achiravata said, I cannot teach you the Dhamma, Prince, as I have heard it and mastered it. For if I were to teach you the Dhamma as I have heard it and mastered it, you would not understand the meaning of my words, and that would be wearing and troublesome for you. But he further said, the prince, let Master Agavesana teach me the Dhamma as he has heard it and mastered it. Perhaps I can understand the meaning of his words. Venerable Achiravata says, I shall teach you the Dhamma, Prince, as I have heard it and mastered it. If you can understand the meaning of my words, that will be good. But if you cannot understand the meaning, then leave it at that and do not question me about it further. That was the promise. That is how he said. And the prince says, let Master Agavesana teach me the Dhamma as he has heard it and mastered it. If I can understand the meaning of his words, that will be good. If I cannot understand the meaning, then I will leave it at that and I will not question him about it further. Thereafter, Venerable Achiravata. Then Venerable Achiravata taught him the Dhamma. After he had spoken, Prince Jayasena remarked, he said, he was not agree with Venerable Achiravata. He says, it is impossible, Master Agavesana. It cannot happen that a bhikkhu who abides diligent, ardent, and resolute can achieve unification of mind. It is impossible, he says. Then, having declared to the novice Achiravata that this was impossible and could not happen, Prince Jayasena rose from his seat and departed. Thereafter, Venerable uh, Achiravata went to see the Buddha. After paying homage to the Buddha, he told the whole story. And after that, the Buddha said, as he told the whole story, the Buddha said, Aggivesana, that is addressing the Achiravata, the novice. Aggivesana, how is it possible that Prince Jayasena, living in the midst of sensual pleasures, that is the problem. Enjoying sensual pleasures, being devoured by thoughts of sensual pleasures, These are the problems. Being consumed by the fever of sensual pleasures. He's engaged, highly engaged in sensual pleasures. That is why he can't understand. Bent on the search for sensual pleasures. Could no see or realize that which must be known through renunciation, seen through renunciation, attained through renunciation, realized through renunciation. That is impossible. The Buddha said, that is why he could not understand. Prince Jason could not understand because he was highly engaged in sensual pleasures. He is consumed by the fever of sensual pleasures. He was thinking all the time, thinking sensual thoughts. How come? Well, that is the problem. Then the Buddha said, suppose, Aggivesana, there were two tameable elephants, horses or oxen, that were well tamed and well disciplined, and two tameable elephants, horses or oxen that were untamed and undisciplined. What do you think, Aggivesana? Would the two tameable elephants, horses, or oxen that were well tamed and well disciplined, being tamed, acquire the behavior of the tamed? Would they arrive at the grade of the tamed? He said, yes, Venerable Sir. Achiravata said, yes, Venerable Sir. But would the two tameable elephants, horses, or oxen that were untamed and undisciplined, being untamed, acquire the behavior of the tamed? Would they arrive at the grade of the tamed like the two tameable elephants, horses, or oxen that were well tamed and well disciplined? He said, no, Venerable Sir. The Buddha says, so too, Aggivesana, it is impossible that Prince Jayasena, living in the midst of sensual pleasures, he cannot understand this thing, the Buddha said. The Buddha gave a simile. Suppose, Aggivesana, there were high mountain not far from the village or town, and two friends would leave the village or town and approach the mountain hand in hand. Having reached it, one friend would remain below at the foot of the mountain while the other would climb to the top. So two friends, they go to the mountain. One is remaining at the foot of the mountain and the other one climb to the top. Then the friend who remained below at the foot of the mountain would say to the friend who stood on the top, "Well, friend, what do you see standing on top of the mountain?" he asked. And the other replied, "Standing on top of the mountain, friend, I see lovely parks, lovely groves, lovely meadows, and lovely ponds." Then the first friend would say, "It is impossible." The one who is remaining at the foot of the mountain would say, "It is impossible." Just like the Prince Jayasena said, "It is impossible, friend. It cannot happen that while standing on top of the mountain, you should see lovely parks, lovely groves, lovely meadows, and lovely ponds. It is impossible." Then the other one, the one who climbed, he would come down to the foot of the mountain, take his friend by the arm, and make him climb to the top of the mountain. After giving him a few moments to catch his breath, he would ask, "Well, friend, standing on top of the mountain, what do you see?" Now he's on the top of the mountain. And his friend would say, "Standing on top of the mountain, friend, I see lovely parks, lovely groves, lovely meadows, and lovely ponds." Then the other would say, "Friend, just a little earlier, we heard you say it is impossible, friend. It cannot happen. That will stand while standing on the top of the mountain, you should see lovely parks, lovely ponds, etc. But just now we heard you say, standing on the top of the mountain, friend, I see lovely parks, lovely ponds, etc. That then the first friend would reply, "Because this is the reason, because I was obstructed by this high mountain, friend. I did not see what was there to be seen." That is the problem. We all have this huge mountain in front of us. What is that mountain? Ignorance. It is because of our ignorance we cannot understand things as they are. That is the problem. Just like the person who was remaining at the foot of the mountain could not see what the friends as Kalyana Mitra, good friends, we have to help our friends. We have to help to climb the mountain. We have to help them to destroy this ignorance, the darkness of ignorance should be shunned. Then now the Buddha taught him the taming, training. This is the training. Suppose Agivesana, a head-anointed noble king, addresses his woodsman thus: "Good elephant woodsman, mount the king's elephant, enter the elephant wood, And when you see a forest elephant, bind him by the neck to the king's elephant. Now, this is how one should go to the forest, to the woods, and capture an elephant. Having replied, "Yes, sir," the elephant woodsman mounts the king's elephant, enters the elephant wood, and when he sees a forest elephant, binds him by the neck to the king's elephant. The king's elephant leads him out into the open. It is in this way that a forest elephant comes out into the open, for the forest elephant clings to the elephant's wood. So that is how the elephant is taken out of the woods. Just like that, the people should come out of this wood, this sensuality. Then the Buddha told him the way that the elephant is to be tamed. That is what the elephant trainers do. Let's see. Then the elephant woodsman informs the head anointed noble king, "Sir, the forest elephant has come out into the open." The king addresses his elephant tamer. So the one who uh, is going to capture an elephant is a different one. He's the elephant woodsman. But elephant tamer, trainer is different. Now the king addresses him, "Come, good elephant tamer, tame the forest elephant, subdue his forest habits, subdue his forest memories and intentions, subdue his distress, fatigue, and fever over leaving the forest. Get him to take delight in the town. Inculcate in him habits congenial to human beings." Having replied, "Yes, sir," the elephant tamer plants a large post in the wood in the earth and binds the forest elephant to it by the neck in order to subdue his forest habits and to inculcate in him habits congenial to human beings. Then the elephant tamer addresses the elephant with words. Now, elephant is tied to the post, and then the elephant tamer addresses the elephant with words that are gentle. First thing is addressing the elephant, gentle words, using gentle words, pleasing to ear and lovable as go to the heart, dear to heart, dear to ear. Such words are to be spoken, which are courteous, desired by many, and agreeable to many. When the forest elephant is addressed by such words, he listens, gives ear, and exerts his mind to understand. The elephant tamer next rewards him with grass fodder and water, gives him water. When the forest elephant accepts the uh, grass fodder and water from him, the elephant tamer knows now as the elephant is taking this grass fodder and water. The elephant tamer knows now the king's elephant will live. Then the elephant tamer trains him further, thus, take up. Now the tamer says, take up, put down things. That is to train the elephant. When the king's elephant obeys his tamer's orders to take up and put down and carries out his instructions, the elephant tamer trains him further. Then tamer says, go forward, go backward, go back. When the king's elephant obeys his tamer's orders to go forward and go back and carries out his instructions, the elephant tamer trains him further thus. Get up. He says, get up to the elephant. Get up. Sit down. When the king's elephant obeys his tamer's orders to get up and sit down and carries out his instructions, the elephant tamer trains him further in the task called imperturbability. Imperturbability. What is that task? Let's see. He ties a giant plank to his trunk. Giant plank to his trunk. A man with a lance in his hand sits on his neck. Men with lances in their hands surrounded him on all sides. And the elephant tamer himself stands in front of him holding a lone lance pole. When the elephant is being trained in the task of imperturbability, he does not move. The elephant cannot move now. The people with lances around. When the elephant is being trained in the task of imperturbability, he does not move his forelegs or his hind legs. He does not move his forequarters or his hind quarters. He does not move his head, ears, tusks, tail, or trunk. He cannot move. That is imperturbability. Cannot move. The king's elephant is able to endure blows from spears, blows from swords, blows from arrows, blows from other beings, and the thundering sounds of drums, different drums, kettle drums, trumpets, and tom-tom beaters, tom-toms, different type of drums. Being rid of all faults and defects, purged from flaws, he is worthy of the king in the king's service, considered one of the factors of a king. That means now with that training, the elephant become the king's property, the king's tameable and well-tamed elephant. And now Buddha gave this to understand how to train the elephant. So too, Agivesana, Buddha says, so too, Agivesana. A Tathagata means the Buddha. Tathagata appears in the world, accomplished, fully enlightened, perfect in true knowledge and conduct, sublime, knower of the worlds, incomparable leader of persons to be tamed, teacher of gods and humans, enlightened, blessed. Those are the qualities of the Buddha. He declares his this world with its gods, its Maras, and its Brahmas, this generation with its recluses and Brahmins, it is princes and its people, which he has himself realized. He has himself realized by direct knowledge. He teaches the Dhamma, good in the beginning, good in the middle, and good in the end, with the right meaning and present. And he reveals a holy life that is utterly perfect and pure. That's the teaching of the Buddha. Then a householder, just like the elephant, just like the elephant, a householder, or householder's son, or one born in some other clan, hears that Dhamma. Somebody listen to that Dhamma. Listen to that Dhamma. On hearing this word, on hearing is not the right word, I guess. Better word is listening, not hearing. Dhamma should be listen, not hearing. Hearing means just you listen something going on. While you are doing something, your radio is on. You are hearing. It is not listening. Listening is attentively. You to give attention. You to give attention to listen to the Dhamma. You have to listen to the Dhamma, not mere hearing. So on hearing, let's take that. On hearing the Dhamma, he acquires faith in the Tathagata. Faith is another, it is not the right word. We Buddhists should use the word confidence, conviction, or trust, not faith, because there is blind faith. Buddhism is not a blind faith. Okay. So Tathagata, the Buddha, he trusts the Buddha, listening to the Buddha's word, Dhamma. He or she has confidence. Possessing that confidence, that faith, he considers thus, he thinks like this: household life is crowded and dusty. This household life is crowded and dusty. Life gone forth is wide open. It is not easy while living in a home to lead the holy life utterly perfect and pure as a polished shell. Suppose I shave off my hair and beard, put on the yellow robe, and go forth from the home life into homelessness. That is how he thinks. Then he understands the significance of going forth, and he becomes a disciple of the Buddha. Sorry. Then the Buddha, the Tathagata, disciplines him further. Now, as he takes robe, this is how one goes from home life to the state of homeless. The Buddha first instructs him to be virtuous. Buddha says, come, bhikkhu, be virtuous. This is the training for the man, for a woman. Whenever whoever is coming to the sasana, coming to the dispensation, this is the training. There are 7 different steps. Let's see. What is the first thing? First thing in the sasana, in this dispensation, is morality, Seela, virtuous. So the Buddha instructs to be virtuous. Be virtuous. That is the first thing. Second step is, the Buddha says, come bhikkhu, guard the doors of your sense faculties. This is the second. These are gradual training. First, one should be virtuous. Your sila is very important. That is why it is necessary to observe 5 precepts, 8 precepts like that. Or at least one should think of the senses, restraint of senses. So the second one is to guard the doors of your sense faculties. That is the second one. Train yourself, guard your senses, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and the mind. These 6 senses are to be guarded by the wise one, by the one who wants to follow this teachings of the Buddha. Then the third method, third step of training is, as the Buddha says, come bhikkhu, be moderate in eating. Moderate eating. The first one is morality. Second one is guard your senses. The third one is eat, moderate in eating. Reflecting wisely. You should take food neither for amusement, nor for intoxication, nor for the sake of physical beauty and attractiveness, but only for the endurance and continuance of this body. For ending discomfort and for assisting the holy life, considering thus I shall terminate all feelings without arousing new feelings, and I shall be healthy and blameless and shall live in comfort. That's the way to think. That is the reflection of food. When we eat, you to understand the purpose of eating and eat moderate. Moderate eating is important. That is the third step of the Buddhist practice, training, gradual training. Then the fourth step is, as the Buddha says, come bhikkhu, be devoted to wakefulness. Wakefulness. You have to break your rest at night. During the day, while walking back and forth and sitting, purify your mind of obstructive states. In the first watch of the night, while walking back and forth and sitting, purify your mind of obstructive states. In the middle watch of the night, you should lie down at night. In the middle watch of the night, this is very important to everybody. You should lie down in the middle watch of the night, not break your rest. Lie down on the right side, and that is the Buddha's instructions. Right side in the lion's posture. Lion's posture is recommended by the Buddha. While sleeping, you have to be mindful and fully aware, fully alert. Mindfully, you are sleeping. After that is sleeping, it is after noting in your mind the time for rising. After rising in the last watch of the night, again. While walking back and forth and sitting, purify your mind of obstructive states. That is the fourth steps. Now the fifth step, there are seven steps. Fifth step is, as the Buddha says, come bhikkhu. Be possessed of mindfulness and full awareness. Mindfulness and full awareness. What is this? Mindfulness and clear comprehension. In other words, Sato Sampajano, Sati and Sampajano. Act in full awareness when going forward and returning. When looking ahead and looking away, be mindful and clearly understand. When flexing and extending your limbs, be mindful and clearly understand. When wearing your robes and carrying your outer robe and bowl, be mindful and clearly understand. When eating, drinking, consuming food and tasting, when defecating and urinating, when walking, standing, sitting, falling asleep, waking up, talking, and keeping silent, even keeping silent, be mindful and clearly understand. That is called mindfulness and clear comprehension. Thereafter, the Buddha instructs him to practice. As the sixth step, Buddha asks him or her to practice meditation with the recommended places, secluded places, the forest, the foot of the tree, a mountain, a ravine, a hillside cave, a charnel ground, a jungle thicket, or an open space, a heap of straw. Those are some places recommended by the Buddha for our meditation. Now the sixth step of practice. Sixth one is as the monk. Now he's the monk. On returning from his alms round after his meal, he sits down, folding his legs crosswise, setting his body erect. This is the way to practice, and establishing mindfulness before him. Friends, this is not only for monks. Everybody can do. This training is for all of us. Establish mindfulness before him means establish mindfulness before your face. That is in order to understand your breath, abandoning covetousness for the world. He abides with a mind free from covetousness. He purifies his mind from covetousness. Abandoning ill will, you to abandon ill will and hatred. He abides with a mind free from ill will, compassionate for the welfare of all living beings. He purifies his mind from ill will and hatred, abandoning sloth and torpor. He abides free from sloth and torpor. Recipient of light, mindful and fully aware. He purifies his mind from sloth and torpor. Abandoning restlessness and remorse, he abides unagitated with the mind inwardly peaceful. He purifies the mind in this manner, the five hindrances. That is the sixth. Then the seventh one, seventh step of training. Having thus abandoned these five hindrances, imperfections of the mind that weaken wisdom, he abides contemplating the body as a body, ardent, fully aware, and mindful, having put away covetousness and grief for the world. He abides contemplating feelings as feelings, mind as mind objects as mind objects, ardent, fully aware, and mindful, having put away covetousness and grief for the world. What is that? What are these? These four. Four establishments of mindfulness. After subduing five hindrances, the Buddha's instruction is to practice these four establishments of mindfulness, satipatthana, four satipatthana. So those are the seven factors. Just as Agavesana, the elephant tamer, plants a large post in the earth and binds the forest elephant to it by the neck in order to subdue his forest habits and to inculcate in him habits congenial to human beings. So these four foundations of mindfulness are the bindings for the mind of the noble disciple in order to subdue his habits based on the household life. To subdue his memories and intentions based on the household life, to subdue his distress, fatigue, and fever based on the household life, and in order that he may attain the true way and realize Nibbana. So, four establishments of mindfulness. Buddha compared this four to the uh, post, of like the elephant is tied. Four establishments of mindfulness. Then the Tathagata disciplines him further. Come, bhikkhu. Yeah, that is the same thing. So then the Buddha says, practice, enter upon the jhana. You can practice further. First jhana, second jhana, third jhana, and the fourth jhana. And with that, you can come to the state of steady imperturbability of your mind. When his concentrated mind, you have a concentrated mind. When you have concentrated mind, which is purified, bright, unblemished, rid of imperfection, malleable, wieldy, steady, and attain to imperturbability, he directs it to knowledge of the recollection of past lives. That is the first knowledge one can gain. All arahants, all enlightened ones gain these three types of knowledge. What are the three? The recollection of past lives. Then, as the result of concentrated mind, which is bright, unblemished, rid of imperfection, malleable, wieldy, steady, and attain to imperturbability. When it is imperturbable mind, he then directs his mind to knowledge of the passing away and reappearance of beings. That is the second knowledge one can gain. So first one is recollection of the previous lives, past lives. The second one is passing away. That's the knowledge of the passing away and reappearance of beings. That is with his divine eye. Then the third knowledge that one can gain is peculiar in the teaching of the Buddha. Nowhere else you find that. What is that? When his concentrated mind is thus purified and imperturbability, come to the state of imperturbability, he directs his to knowledge of the destruction of taints. Knowledge of destruction of taints. This one is only in the teaching of the Buddha. He then understands as it actually is, this is suffering. He understands as it actually is, this is the origin of suffering. He understands as it actually is, this is the cessation of suffering. He understands as it actually is, this is the way leading to the cessation of suffering. Then he understands as it actually is, these are the taints. He understands as it actually is, this is the origin of the taints. He understands as it actually is, this is the cessation of taints. He understands as it actually is, this is the way leading to the cessation of the taints. Friends, that is the way to realize this real peace, real happiness. When he knows and sees thus, his mind is liberated from the taints of sensual desire, from the taints of being, existence, and from the taints of ignorance. When it is liberated, what is liberated? When the mind is liberated, there comes the knowledge, it is liberated. What is liberated? Mind is liberated. Not I am liberated. Not I am liberated. It is liberated. What is liberated? Mind is liberated. That is the knowledge. He understands birth is destroyed. The holy life has been lived. What had to be done has been done. There is no more coming to any state of beings, no more existence, no more birth. Birth destroyed. Birth destroyed means death destroyed. No more birth, no more death. Sansaric existence is no more. Complete cessation of this sansara. That is the full bliss, attainment of real peace, real happiness of Nibbana. May we all attain that real bliss, real happiness of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.